I'm there to fight for 15 minutes. If I go all 3 rounds, don't be surprised if you're going to have to carry me out of the damn cage.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
Originally, in 2008, when I got out of the military, I was a fat boy. I weighed 200 pounds, well over 200 pounds, and took my first fight at 170, and it's been a roller coaster ride all the way down to. I went to 155, and it was fun. As an amateur, I was handling people, and then Red's like, let's try 45, and I went to 145, and he's like, you made 45 so easy, and making it to 135 it's a challenge. It was a challenge for the first time, and I always seem to strive better when I get challenged to do something. It makes me better competition because I want to fight the best, you know. And at 135, from the way Cornbread puts it, unless you're world class and you can do what you're good at, what you're world class at for 15 minutes to me, you're not going to beat me.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves, they want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
It always brings a level of excitement. I mean, you don't see too many brothers outside of the Diaz brothers and outside of the Nogueira brothers that are still in fighting, and the Holland brothers, you know, that are actually in it and are on the same card together. And then on top of that, you don't see the ones who really like to fight. Like you may have one brother that wants to fight, and you have another brother who's just followed his brother into it. Well, when you put both of us on the card, and with my, I guess, my unique character that I have in fighting, it brings out the best in everybody. I mean, if you see me at a fight, it's hard for you not to laugh. It's hard for you not to walk up to me and say, man, some of those fights were awful, but your fight, it was a little bit funny, it was a little bit serious, it was a little bit, you kicked that guy's ass, it was a little bit, man, you're probably one of the toughest SOBs I've seen in a long time. But then you put Roger on a card, and it just fires you up knowing that, hey, younger brother's out there, and younger brother just went out there and set the pace.
You have to believe that something different can happen. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
Oh my God. I really got my ass kicked growing up. That's right. Dingo got his ass kicked. And that's before I was Dingo. That's when I was just Joey, younger brother. You know, I never really won a fight growing up with Roger. I always had to break out the sheet pans or the frying pans or the BB gun or kicking him square in the nuts. You know, he one time took a remote controller from me, and I was like, listen, I spent all my money on buying this. You're not going to take it. And I kicked him square in the nuts, and he felt it for 3 weeks. You know, I broke a BB gun over his back because he tried shooting at me and shot the mirror and blamed it on me. You know? So, yeah, we've always fight growing up. I mean, I remember for his 19th birthday, my mom had a big party in the backyard, you know? And we used to have this thing called Hell in the Cell, like cage matches. And we had a swimming pool. And we spent all week getting everything ready, getting everything set up. Well, we decided to get a big table. We had a makeshift table. You know where this is going. We had a makeshift table. And we cut a small little cut in the joint on the table, and we soaked the whole table in gasoline for a week. It gets interesting. Wait. So we did this whole fight and everything, the Hell in the Cell. I mean, it was probably 4 hours. And at the end, for Roger's birthday, I let him choke slam me through a table that was on fire. And I didn't remember anything. All I remember is getting choke slammed through the table, and then I remember having ice poured on me. That's it. I woke up and not knowing where I was at or what was going on. So, yeah, we've had fights. And if you ever see us sparring or getting ready for a fight, it's nothing like your brother to push you.
That most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
It goes back to 2002, and I might get emotional here, I'm sorry. But 2002, I lost my dad to terminal cancer. And then 8 days later, I left to go into the military. So I had to go through all this emotional stuff and all this crazy, losing my dad, and I had to go through all that together. And I went on a downward spiral, got drunk, drank my life away from 2002 to probably 2006, you know. And I found jiu-jitsu. I was sitting at a bar when I turned 22, and I found jiu-jitsu with Odyssey Martial Arts Academy, John Simons III, and I went up there, and 12, 15, 16-year-olds were submitting me left and right. And I felt worthless. I felt like I couldn't do anything. And I figured out that in order to be successful in life, and what my dad told me before he passed away, he was like, I want you to strive to be the best. I want you to be on the biggest ship there is. And I was on a ship called USS Carroll, America's favorite carrier. And so I found Odyssey, and within the first year of being there, I was there for a good 2.5, 3 years, and they're like a family to me. My whole life changed around, and I got my blue belt from Hoist Gracie, and that was a big turning point in my life, you know. And then I got out in 2007, came home, and your grandparents shouldn't outlive your parents. My grandma and grandpa outlived my dad. And my grandma and grandpa we lost both of them to cancer. My grandpa had cancer all over his body, and my grandma had bone cancer. Well, come to find out, last year, my mom got diagnosed with cervical cancer, and it was tough because I had to go through all this together, you know. And luckily, I had my brother and I had my sister and I had all my family members here at Renegade and everybody to support me. And Tap Cancer Out was what I found about that time, you know. And I talked to them, and that was the first time my mom has ever come to see me fight personally. She drove all the way from Florida to see the fight, you know. And I told Kenny, I was like, Kenny, after the fight, win or lose, I'm bringing my mom in the cage, you know. And I personally have never seen Kenny Letts cry, and I have never seen Michael Allen cry, and not too many people have seen me cry, but I brought my mom in the cage because she beat cancer. And I told her, going into the fight, going into the XFC fight in August when I fought Jeff Tharrington, that we were going to beat it together. And every morning I woke up and put something inspirational on her wall, and I posted everything inspirational on her wall. Like, we're going to tap cancer out together. We're going to beat cancer together. And when she came down to the fight, at first she didn't know she was going to get brought in, and I brought her in, and everybody standing up and giving her a standing ovation. That meant the world to me. I could die right now and be happy, because my mom beat something that has taken most of my family, and I don't want anybody to go through that. That's the worst pain in the world. So, but it's an emotional roller coaster, but it strives me to be better. It strives me to be stronger, because I know if my mom can go through what she went through, I can last 15 minutes or 25 minutes in a fight, hands down, cut open, bleeding, broken arm, broken shoulder, or anything. So that's what it was. I think a lot of the guys here at Renegade are becoming more like brothers to me. The XFC guy, John Prisco, said, there's no way that I can put a fight on in Charlotte and not have you on the card, Dingo.
What is it you said to the kid? It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit. And keep moving forward. How much you can take.